Hey there friends, welcome back. You are watching day 11 of our 13 Days of Halloween series here at Polly's Paper Studio. Now, if you're just joining in, you can find links at the top of the description for the first 10 days so you can get caught up. And for today's project, we are going to be creating a very fun envelope flip book. This is more of a darker, more goth inspired book, and I think it's perfectly spooky for Halloween. I've got this tied up with my beautiful ribbon trim on the edge, and inside we have some great envelopes that we created with the envelope punch board, and then inserts tucked into the pockets to fill with all of your pictures and memories from the holiday. There are 2 sets of these inserts as well, so there's plenty of room to fill this in. So stick with me and we will make this together. For today, we're going to be working with this Spellbound Forest collection. This is a hot buy paper pad from Michaels, and I am actually quite surprised at how much I like this paper pad. I have done one other project for this series with it, and then I went back to this one because I had found those really cool stickers from the Dollar Tree that matched. I don't have a package of those stickers to show you because I cut them up quite small already, so there wasn't enough to share, but you can check them out in my Dollar Tree link for our series prep, and they really worked with this so perfectly. So this is not like Halloween themey, but it is a darker, more goth kind of inspiration, and so the dark colors work really well for the stickers, and I think they are a great match for Halloween. This is single-sided paper, but it is very thick. I was shocked at how nice the quality of the paper is, so you're definitely going to notice that if you pick up this paper pad. I am also going to be utilizing my envelope punch board and my regular scoreboard for this, and so I'm going to get started working on my envelopes. I'm going to get this as close as I can and hope it will be in focus. I'm going to make my envelopes according to the guide that is on my scoreboard at a A2 size. That is a 4.5 by 5.5 inch card, and it says to cut my paper at 8 1/8 by 8 1/8 and then score it at 3 3/4. And so our finished envelope size will be 5 3/4 by 4 3/4, and that is intended to fit an A2 size card. So hopefully you guys can see that on the guide there. And I'm going to begin working on that envelope. And so I will slide my edge of my paper over to the 3/4 mark and then go ahead and punch that, and then score on the line as direct. For this side, I'll line up that indicator with the crease from my previous score. Punch that again and crease it right along there. I'll just continue to do that all the way around. And so I have all of those sides scored and punched. I'm going to come back in with the opposite side of the scoreboard and just punch out those corners so they're nice and rounded. So I'll just come in and fold on all of my score lines, and I'll use the tool just to burnish that edge down so that I get a nice tight crease. I'll do that all the way around. And now you can see that my envelope is 4 3/4 by 5 3/4. I want to utilize this as a pocket, so I'll fold in the top portion of that envelope, and then I'm going to add my adhesive to seal up the bottom, and being careful not to go too high so that I don't inadvertently seal up the envelope, and then go ahead and fold over that last side. So now we have our envelope, and so I'm going to add it to the portion that will connect it with the other side. And so I have my paper cut at 9 3/4 inches wide by 5 3/4 inches tall. So it's just going to be the exact height of my envelope. I'm going to go ahead and add my tape again, and then I'll add it to this long strip, and I want the pocket portion to be going out. So I'll just line this up here along the edge. I want to top this portion off with a little bit of the collection paper just to dress up these envelopes a little. So I'm going to cut a strip here that goes across the bottom, and then I have the other envelope for this side and add it here all the way to the edge with the pocket going out one more time. Then I'll bring in my scoreboard, and I want to line up the end of the pocket with one of the grooves in the board, and then just go ahead and score on that line, and then slide it over until I can do the same thing for the other side. And this is going to give me a nice crisp crease, and I'll fold that over. So we're going to have 1/4 of an inch between of the envelopes, and that will accommodate the bulk of what we're putting inside. So for the project we're making today, I do have 2 of these units created to join together. So my finished project is going to have 4 pockets, and what I want to do is add my tape here. Then I'm going to come in with a little bit of the Tombow, just so that I know this. So I'll just go ahead and line these up along the edge and join them together. And that double-sided tape will hold these in place while our glue sets up. So now what we have is 2 pages that have 2 pockets each. I want to create a single cover around this, so I've already put my tape on this side, and I will do the same for the back. I also want to put a strip of this going down the spine as well. Now I stopped at 2. You could add as many of these as you like, as many pockets as you want to create. Just follow the same procedure and keep adding the pockets as you go along. So just clip the end of that adhesive there, and so now I want to pull the tape from one side only so that it doesn't get away from me while I'm adding it to the cover. So I have taken the same black cardstock, and this was an 8.5 by 11 piece. I just trimmed it down to the 5 3/4. That is the height of our book. I left the full width so that I would have enough room to put my score lines in. When we have this attached, I'll come back in and trim off the excess. And so do want to add a little bit more of that Tombow and flatten this back out. Then I'll add my cover, same as I did for the inside. I just line that up because it's all the same height. It's easy to get that attached. So now you can see where our spine meets that cover, and I'll just line that up same as I did for the inside and make a nice score line there. That way I'll get a good, nice crisp crease, and I'll remove my paper from the tape and fold this over onto the book. So now that will be very well secured. I might even take my score tool and give a little bit of pressure there. So now I know that is well secured. Same thing again is line up the edge of the spine with one of the score lines. Give that a score, and then fold it over again. And now you see how we've got that very nice crisp edge to the spine. I'll pull the tape from this side, add more Tombow, fold it over again, and this is going to complete the back side. of our album. And I'll just clip along the edge of our envelope. So now our cover's all set and we have 2 portions on the inside for our pockets. So what I want to do is create my A2 size greeting cards, and this is a folded size of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That's just your standard A2 size card. Now, while I'm working along, I want to keep in mind that my inserts are going to be coming in at different directions. So what I have to do is be aware of how the paper direction is running. And so for this insert I'm creating, I want it to be a left folding insert. And I've got my pattern paper here. These beautiful butterflies are on that burgundy background pattern, and it has a very subtle text in the back. It's very pretty. I'll hold that up there. Can you see that? And I'm going to add the same pattern for the insides and the back because I want it all to have a nice finished look. These were very easy to cut out because all of the measurements were the same, and so that made it a little bit faster. You do not have to choose black cardstock. I have made these type of albums with white cardstock and then just use matting, and that works perfectly well. And so if you change this design for a different holiday or a non-holiday project, you can just easily change out your cardstock to match your project. Okay, so now I have the pattern paper on, and I'm going to utilize some of the cut aparts that were in the collection. And so I just trimmed this out and added a cardstock border so that it would have a nice layering effect. I don't really love the sentiments inside, and so I'm just going to use a oval die for this one and cut my pattern paper to fit inside. So now it's just more of a frame. For this insert, I picked a couple of stickers from the set, and these are very pretty stylized flowers. I'll put one here on the top, and then I'll balance it at the bottom with this. Has a fun saying on it, and it is also a little bit dimensional, so that is a nice extra added detail. And so this will be the insert that I can add to this pocket. And I have prepared all of the other inserts ahead so that I can show you how nice they look when you add them all to the book. This one is a very cool pattern. It has a skull with a crow. And so I'm going to add that to this pocket. And then the last one, I did not finish the inside of it. Okay, so that's all for day 11 of our 13 days of Halloween series here at Polly's Paper Studio. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure you come back tomorrow for day 12. And now for the question of the day. Have you ever snuck a sneaky treat out of your kid's trick-or-treat bag? I will answer that is a 100% yes. Let me know in the comments if you have helped yourself to a little candy from your kid's treat bag. Remember, you can check in the description for links for all our social media sites. Don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up for this project. And as always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.